Good afternoon. I hope you are having a great day. It is absolutely fantastic to have the opportunity to see you all face to face. A couple of weeks ago, we were thinking that probably will be an online conference, but it's absolutely fantastic. I hope that you take every opportunity given to network, to create communities of practice, which is what all WICAM is all about, and get inspired to break any ceilings and meet your expectations, even those that you are not believing that you could achieve. So, as Nikki said, for those who haven't met me before, I am the Dean of the Business School, and I am absolutely delighted to be here today to welcome all of you, which I would also like to invite to our university and the Rose Bowl, which is the home of the Business School, and to introduce our next honorable speaker. Very, very briefly, I will share with you some of the aims, vision, and purpose of the school, not for any other reason, not to delay the actual introduction, in order to see how we bridge WICAM, the ambition of the Business School, and what our mayor pledged for before her election. For us, it's everything about engaging with our region, be a business school for Leeds, and inspiring others to meet and exceed their full potential. One of the key aims and priorities of our school and our universities is to be recognized for the positive socioeconomic impact that we make as an inclusive anchor in the region. As I said, being a business school for Leeds means that that we open the doors to all of you to have access to knowledge transfer opportunities, to engage and work with our students and our staff and be part of the community. We focus very much on practice-relevant education and opportunities for knowledge exchange, and we spend a lot of the time nurturing talent to exceed and meet their full potential. Now, without any further delay, the main three pillars that make the link with our honorable speaker is responsibility, inclusivity, and sustainability, which underpin all the strategies of the school. And when you combine it with the passion that we've got for our region, then you can see where the link is made. Now, our mayor needs no introduction. However, very briefly, I will just go through some of the highlights. She was elected as the first mayor of West-Yorkshire and the first ever woman metro mayor in England in May 2021. During her campaign, Tracy pledged to create 1,000 skilled jobs for young people, in some of them also being green jobs for young people. Lead a creative New Deal, bring buses back under public control, with the visible improvements as you would expect, tackle the climate emergency, and that's why I said some of these 1,000 jobs were also linked to being green jobs, and build 5,000 affordable and sustainable homes. As mayor, Tracy also inherits the roles and responsibilities of the former police and crime commissioner, and her priorities for policing include to recruit more frontline officers in order to increase visibility, as you would expect, and staff, and to prioritize something that is very close to our heart as well as a university, safety for women and girls. And we are doing a lot of projects working on that with the mayor's office. Prior to her election as mayor, Tracy was the MP for Batley and Spen, and as MP, she held the appointments as Shadow Early Years Minister, Shadow Secretary of State for Digital, Cultural, Media and Sport, and Shadow Minister for Cultural Industries, which are very close to another great career that Tracy had as an actor and screenwriter. Moreover, Tracy is a former member of the Women and Equality Select Committee and a former chair of the Gaps in Support, which is an all Parliament group, having led the campaign on behalf of 3 million people excluded from government financial support during the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. So without any further ado, please welcome our Mayor Brabin.
Thank you so much, George, for that really warm welcome. And oh my goodness, how amazing to be here in this building with so many fantastic people. This is definitely the highlight of my week. And great to see a couple of young women and one I met in the street, and we had a brief conversation. And I took a selfie of her because I put it on Instagram. And I said, this is so amazing. I was just walking to a meeting and I was stopped by a young woman who said, oh, I really like and admire what you're doing. And this is what helps me get out of bed in the morning, knowing that I'm making a difference, and to hear from strangers who I think will become friends. So thank you very much. So obviously I've heard from Nikki, my friend, that you've had an inspiring and uplifting morning already. And it's so great to be among so many like-minded people. And we've so much incredible female talent across our region in all walks of life, whether that's business, whether that's public sector, academia, or the arts. And so many brilliant women to learn from as well, and to work with, and of course to simply have a cocktail with. That's why West Yorkshire is so great, because we do like our cocktails. That's why I'm really pleased to see a great initiative like We Can to be established, because how else do we get on and get up if we're not going to help each other? And we know that fellas do their networking often in bars and clubs, and I think this is the way that we do our networking, and we must make the most of it. And I think the part of networking that's really important as well is we have to be ladder droppers. We have to put the ladder down for other women to come up to join us. And that's what this program's all about, isn't it? Doing that ladder dropping. That's why it was so important for me in my first week as the Mayor of West Yorkshire to appoint Alison Lowe as my deputy. As a woman of colour, she has experience of being a senior councillor in Leeds and a senior leader in the third sector, and a wealth of knowledge in policing. And she takes on that huge responsibility of being my deputy with responsibilities for police and crime. But for so many women in our region, it will be the first time they see themselves reflected in a senior role, and such an important role in West Yorkshire. And I'm hoping that Alison will help us also regain and rebuild trust in our police from our diverse communities. Because isn't it the truth? If you can't see it, you can't be it. So I'm hoping that being the mayor, there'll be lots of young women out there that wouldn't think twice about putting themselves forward to be mayor. So I've been your mayor for 10 months, and I'm so proud to be the first Metro Mayor in our region, and obviously the first woman Metro Mayor. There's a group of 10 called the M10 Mayors, and I am definitely in a boys' club, but I can weather that. It is great to be part of that group of people who are already in power, with money and with responsibilities to make a difference. But despite all the progress in female representation, in female empowerment, it is still incredibly disappointing the creation of new directly elected positions have been filled predominantly by men. And to be honest, that's one of the reasons why I put myself forward for election. I'm a real advocate for devolution, and I campaigned for devolution for West Yorkshire. And then when it looked like we were going to get it over the line, we needed a candidate for mayor. I was looking around trying to find a woman I could support, because there were no women. I was thinking, who could I get behind? And I realized you have to sometimes walk the walk yourselves. So I put my own hat in the ring, and here am I today. And we've been working incredibly hard to ensure that progress is being made on each of the pledges, as you've heard from George just now, that I made to the people of West Yorkshire. I'm incredibly focused on delivering on my promises to build a more diverse and inclusive economy in West Yorkshire, to back our brilliant businesses in our region, and to ensure that everybody has the skills to get on and to fulfil their potential. As we've heard, I promised 1,000 green jobs for young people. I have a green jobs task force, and we've already identified over 250 in the first few months of that task force. I promised to improve public transport and bring buses under public control, and we're making great progress on that, entering into an enhanced partnership with the bus operators to cap fares and improve services. I promised to put tackling violence against women and girls at the heart of my police and crime plan, and next week you'll see an announcement being made on just that. And in developing it, Alison and I reached out the furthest consultation that has ever been done on the police and crime plan, because I wanted it to be yours. We spoke to older community groups, to sex workers, to teenagers, to young people, to people of colour, to campaigners and charities. We really wanted the voice of West Yorkshire in that police and crime plan. So if you do see it, please do take a moment to have a look at it, because if you didn't contribute, there are people exactly like you contributed to that plan, and hopefully we can make West Yorkshire safe for all women and girls across the region. We've already ensured that misogyny will be recorded as hate crime across West Yorkshire. Not every police force does that, but we have a chief constable that understands what we need to do. But I would say you wouldn't have it if you didn't have a woman mayor. So Alison and I have made that. Thank you. We made that a priority for us going forward. We've also invested in schemes to improve the safety of women and girls in parks and in public spaces, as well as hiring 25 independent domestic violence and sexual violence advisors so that they can support women through the really frustrating process of getting justice when they have been victims of sexual violence or domestic violence. It is incredibly tough. It seems like the criminal justice system is working against us, but we will do all we can in West Yorkshire to make sure that those outcomes improve. Since being the first mayor of the region, it makes it really important to demonstrate the real value of devolution and the real difference that a directly elected regional leader can make in our communities. But it's really important for me to deliver on my promises as the first woman mayor. I need to show that women can do this job and they can deliver for their communities as mayor. And last year I went to COP. Was it last year? This year? I've lost all sense of time. I went to COP and was really privileged to be on a couple of panels with mayors from across the world. And it was very uplifting to spend time with women mayors from all over the world. We don't have one in the UK, but I found great solidarity and strength from those mayors that I met. And we were cooking up plans for all sorts of things, Women of the World meetings of mayors, and watch this space on that. But it was great to see others really achieving for their communities. But I'm sure many of you feel that same pressure. Oh, there's only one of me, or there's only a couple of us. We really have to deliver. Because we know that women are less likely to occupy manager, director, and senior positions than men. Around 7% of women work in these positions compared to 12% of men. We also know that the amount of money being invested into female-founded businesses is declining. It makes no sense. All female-founded teams have received just 1.5% of UK investment in 2019. And it seems so mad because we all know that diverse businesses do better. They flourish, they are more successful, and they can also withstand the economic knocks because they can pivot to new answers to the questions that are being asked. And I think using our experiences and our lived experience, and that is something Alison and I speak a lot about, as both of us have been survivors of sexual violence, we can speak with authority about what we need to do to make West Yorkshire safe. You all have lived experience, and that lived experience on boards makes those companies better. You have a fresh perspective and a greater understanding of all of your communities. So as Mayor, to tackle that inequality of funding and opportunity for women entrepreneurs, we've set up Enterprise West Yorkshire, a £6 million programme to encourage entrepreneurship and help people get the support they need to build their successful businesses. But part of that the key part of that package is 50% is going to go to women entrepreneurs and innovators, with 20% going to minority ethnic entrepreneurs. And that's the decision I've been able to make as your mayor. And that would be different for another mayor, but it is my lived experience that is helping me make those decisions. So I'm hoping that the Entrepreneurial Fund will grow our SMEs in our region, grow those micro businesses, and it always strikes me, 95% of the businesses on notonthehighstreet.com are women-founded businesses. Their businesses started in people's kitchens, working around their families. We have a lot to give, but we also need the support in order to grow and to be one of those unicorn businesses, those high street businesses that we all want to achieve with our thriving ideas and our thriving business. And it could not be a more exciting time to grow your business in West Yorkshire. Investors, I mean, you'll know this, you're from West Yorkshire, you get it. Investors, public and private, are pouring into the region. You'll know we've already got Channel 4, the Financial Services Authority. Soon we'll have the Bank of England, the National Infrastructure Bank, along with the British Library of the North, all moving to Leeds. We've got universities, we've got angel investors, and so many others stepping up and supporting businesses in the region. And so many are seeing the benefits of coming or setting up in West Yorkshire, not only for our fabulous hospitality, but the exciting opportunities that we have here with so many talented folk. And it is really uplifting to see when we're going out to recruitment in the Combined Authority, there are people whose previous jobs and home was in London. COVID meant they came back to families because they couldn't afford to live in London. And we are reaping the rewards of that they are staying because they see the value of West Yorkshire, the joy of the hills, the countryside, the cultural offer, the cultural life, and also you definitely get more for your money if you're buying a house. So we are getting more people coming into the region than leaving. So we are, as a Combined Authority, putting in teams in place to help those businesses make links to support your business to grow, attract investment and skilled, talented people. We've also, apart from the Connecting Innovation Programme, which helps SMEs to navigate what innovating support is available to them, our programmes help business transition to net zero, and our Skills Connect programme provides short-term funded, tailored training programmes. So if you tell me you have a shortfall in a skills, you have a skills deficit, we can help you very swiftly in an agile way train up a workforce so you can employ. We need to keep those skills in this region and help you identify your skills shortage. So basically, I'm here to help. My door is open for you, and that's the message I'd like to leave you with today. And whether that's about being your advocate, standing up for West Yorkshire, standing up for Yorkshire women, or giving a voice to women in leadership everywhere, I am absolutely on your side. And if I could just finish with, in order to try and amplify the glory that is women leaders, Alison and I have, through International Women's Week, we're going to women-only businesses, women-only charities. We're going to make it a Women's Week, culminating in a really big event at the Nexus, as you know, in Leeds, that is celebrating, it's a symposium, it's celebrating women, leadership, the work that we've been doing in police and crime. It's got some brilliant speakers. Jolie Brearley, anybody know Pregnant Then Screwed? It's the best campaign title I've ever heard. She was campaigning for proper maternity benefits and discriminations that was happening during COVID, and it became this enormous campaign with them ending up taking the government to court. And she is a really passionate speaker. We've also got Baroness Varsi, Saida Varsi, the first ever Muslim woman in cabinet. She's going to be our host for the day. And Nushin Aslam Raja, who's the Muslim Woman of the Year for her work in the Moonlight Trust. Her brother was murdered her brother Moon, and she, in response, it's quite extraordinary, isn't it, that in her grief she set up the Moonlight Trust that works with refugees all across the world, including Greece, France, and obviously working in Afghanistan and elsewhere. It's going to be a brilliant event. I would urge you to all to have a look at the programme. We'll send around the link for you to have a look at. But this is the first time I'm meeting most of you. It will not be the last. We've so much to do. I'm only 10 months in. The world is our oyster. And for Yorkshire women, this is our time. Thank you.